All right, you guys, I know you've been wanting to hear it from me as far as my season prediction with the new 2024 NFL schedule. And here's where we're going to end up breaking it down here up on Chargers Syndicate. What's going on, you guys? Jake Silva here on Chargers Syndicate, giving you everything LA Chargers news. If it is your first time ever here on the channel, I appreciate you guys and encourage you guys to like, subscribe, hit the bell button to keep you up to date on future and past videos. All right, guys, the official schedule is now out for the LA Chargers, and boy, is it an interesting one. So to kind of recap a little bit, last season, the Chargers went 5-12, a disappointing season to say the least. But at the same time, Chargers got the number 5 overall pick. They started bringing in new free agents after losing a couple key pieces. So this year's schedule now looks a little bit as similar, but kind of has much more of a better feel to it. So as we break down the schedule, here's exactly what it looks like from here. Boom. Looks like the Chargers in a back-to-back season have the bye week in week 5 once again. But in the end, I think the Chargers are definitely going to be tested by the second half of this. And so looking at it from here, they go at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. And one way to get big-time redemption and big-time payback against them. So week 1 is the kickoff for the LA Chargers. Then they go on the road to 2 back-to-back games, which is the Carolina Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then coming back home where they will face off against the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs before taking the bye week in week 5. So 4 crucial games that could potentially end up either coin flips or it could end up working up into their way, especially fighting into the trenches. After that, they're on the road in Denver and in Arizona, where they'll face the Broncos and Cardinals, and the Cardinals is a Monday night football game. Saints, they are at home and then on the road to Cleveland. Then they have a 3-game home stretch between the Tennessee Titans and Cincinnati Bengals, and then another Monday night game, which is the Har Bowl, which is the Baltimore Ravens, where Jim and John Harbaugh will face off against each other once again. Then they're on the road for 2 straight games where they'll play the Atlanta Falcons, the Kansas City Chiefs, and Arrowhead, and then 2 more games at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where the last home game will be against the Denver Broncos, and then they are on the road for the next 2 games between the New England Patriots and the Las Vegas Raiders. It's an interesting schedule set up, in my opinion, but I think this could be one that could favor the Chargers very easily. This kind of has a little more of like a 11-6, 10-7 type feel to me, because the Chargers are going to basically start somewhat easy in the first 4 games. I kind of potentially see them either going at least 2-2, 3-1 at best with the first 4 games of the season before going up into the bye. Then potentially they go up on the next few stretches where it's more just football from here on out, where they're going to be up and on the road. They're going to be up at home. They are also the most traveled team in the NFL, where they are traveling over a total of 26,000 miles. So this, to me, feels a lot like a Chargers team that is meant to be road warriors from here on out of the season. So this is kind of where the challenge for this new era of Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh is officially starting. And so Jim knows that he's coming in with a task that they have to win in the trenches. They got to basically stay in the fight and find any and every way to win a lot of these ball games. And so I think this will be really, really good for the Chargers moving forward. Record prediction-wise, here's where I'm going to end up breaking it down like this. I'd say this would be a win at home against the Raiders, a win on the road against Carolina, a win on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a loss at home to the Kansas City Chiefs to cap off a 3-1 ratio, and then go to the bye week. Then eventually they go on the road to Denver. I'd say they drop that game where they will be 3-2, win the game on Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals, win at home against the Saints, maybe potentially drop that game against the Cleveland Browns. They'll win against the Tennessee Titans. That is a payback game for them. They'll win against the Cincinnati Bengals, considering the fact that they are lacking up on defense. I think they drop a game on Monday night against the Baltimore Ravens in the Hard Bowl. They win against the Atlanta Falcons on the road, and then they will also split with the Kansas City Chiefs on a Sunday night football game from there. Then I'd say for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they win that game up at home. They face the Denver Broncos up at home. I'd say they win this game. And then I believe in the last 2 games of the season between the New England Patriots and the Las Vegas Raiders, the Chargers would end up clinching a playoff spot potentially, and that's where they would lose out the last 2 games of the season. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, man, why do we got to lose out those last 2 games? Well, considering the fact, number one, look at how many times that the Chargers have had to play the New England Patriots. It's never been really kind of, a good note for that matter. And usually their defense always seems to show up against the Chargers. And so that's where I think that's a coin flip game to me. And then losing to the Raiders on the road in Vegas is because they make the playoffs. They're going to be resting a lot of their starters. So kind of seems fair at this point where they would end up splitting with the Raiders. I do have a feeling that the Chargers end up splitting with everybody in the AFC West. That includes the Kansas City Chiefs, the Denver Broncos, and the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm hoping that they honestly end up double dipping against the Raiders, because that is one that is a big time payback for us. And I think that's something that the Chargers would love to end up ending on that note. But I think this is a pretty solid schedule. Like I said, could be somewhere between 11-6, 10-7, in my opinion, because a lot of those games are going to be battle tested, especially when you're on the road in Denver, you're on the road in Cleveland, you're on the road in Kansas City. So there is a lot of road warrior type games that are going to be played from here. But the Chargers, they're going to do any and everything that they can to make sure that the team develops and at the same time produces at the highest level, both offensively and defensively, under this new regime with Jim Harbaugh. And I think at this point, he's going to build that culture. He's going to make this team a lot better. And this is a team that's going to be coming in with a bunch of attitude and a more of a proving everybody wrong type mentality by the time the kickoff starts off for the new 2024 NFL season. That's going to do it here for me, guys. Love to hear your guys' comments of what you guys think as far as the schedule ends up going. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button, keep you up to date on future past videos, and we will see you guys in the next video on Chargers Syndicate. Take care, guys.